What's up, guys, and welcome back to Horror High. We're your hosts, and I'm Dr. Jayhem.
And I'm Mr. High. We're happy to be back. This is what, episode 18? 19?
19.
God damn, dude. Shit just keeps on rushing.
We're getting so
going
old.
by. Oh, yeah, man.
Speaking of which, it's Mr. High's birthday.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Hold the applause. So, yeah, man, thank you guys very much. I'm happy. I'm really glad that I get to do this podcast on my birthday. It's awesome, dude.
Absolutely.
And we got a couple of really good fucking report cards to go over.
We do.
We got
Very
The
cool.
Hills Have Eyes and The People Under the Stairs. And that's such a fun movie right there.
From Wes Craven Week.
From Wes Craven Week,
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Fucking right, man.
Can't wait.
Yep. So let's get right into it. The first movie was The Hills Have Eyes. It came out in 1977. It was directed by Wes Craven. Some of the cast members included Dee Wallace as Lynn Wood, Russ Grieve as Big Bob, and Michael Berryman, who played Pluto. A lot of fucking star talent.
Dee Wallace, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, what did we say? She has like 275
200-something
credits or something like that to her name. Mm-hmm. And Michael Berryman, I mean, everyone knows Michael Berryman. He's
in all of the Wes Craven movies.
Right.
He's in the Rob Zombie movies too, right? He was in like The Devil's Rejects.
He's got that look, and
House
he has
of a Thousand Corpses.
He has a disease. I forget what it's called. That's why I think he doesn't have
Really?
any hair. Yeah, his body doesn't grow any hair.
He uses it to his advantage.
Absolutely,
man. He's an amazing actor. Like his whole persona is always
he's typecast though.
Cool. Oh yeah,
you know he's never the sweet. Mm-hmm. Maybe I want to say I did see him in something where he was just kind of.
I thought I saw him in something where he was kind of like the nicer guy. Deadly Blessings by Wes Craven. Kind of talked about it last week. Michael Berryman kind of plays like the nice guy ish. Like he's like the guy in the beginning. They paint him to be the bad guy, but as the story goes on, you start to realize that everything that he did had a purpose.
Deadly Blessings.
He ended up being like a really cool guy in the end. So that's a little bit of it, but he was also kind of like a villain.
Right.
Either way, this movie had a great ensemble of cast members, man.
Absolutely.
Such a great experience overall.
Michael Berryman was really big back in I want to say it was 79 maybe a little bit later, but One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He was in the asylum with Jack Nicholson and Danny DeVito.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Like if you go back and look at his filmography or like all of his like past projects, you'll probably see a lot of surprising movies. But because he's like that. It's not like he's a character actor because he kind of like outshines the main actors,
right?
Even though he is supposed to be someone who's kind of like a background character ish. But yeah, dude, if you go back and look at his filmography, he always like shows up in these random ass movies, and it's great. He's an awesome actor, definitely deserves it.
Cuckoo's Nest was 75.
Wow.
But yeah, no, and
so that was before The Hills Have Eyes.
Absolutely. I've never met the guy, but I've heard or read that he's really a nice guy too. Everyone says he's just the sweetest person, and I mean, I kind of get the feeling they say that about each other a lot in Hollywood.
Yeah. But I also feel like they are willing to call out the people who are
I would.
So.
I'd be like, no, he's a fucking cunt.
Yeah, he's the worst. I agree.
They would love us in Hollywood, dude, because we'd fucking call it like it is. We probably would last like all of 20 minutes on Hollywood. They'd go, get these fuckers out of here.
We'll get a legitimate 15 minutes of fame, and then that'll be it. They can't stand us anymore. Get the fuck out. Yeah. Dude, so what are you thinking for acting? What's your grade scale looking like?
So for 1977,
and it was probably most of their like first big roles,
right?
Or first like breakout.
I'd like
roles.
to go back into and see what the budget was for that. But if for 1977, and yeah, it was. I mean, Dee Wallace. I mean, she's still a beautiful lady, but wow, is she cute, huh?
Oh, dude.
Oh my goodness,
she's always fucking
beautiful
gorgeous
for
and
sure.
Everything.
But she was so good back then, and she's still great today.
Oh, yeah,
she hit the ground running as an actress.
What is it? The Witches of Salem, that Rob Zombie movie. Mm-hmm. She's in that one, and she's like, that probably came out like, 6-7 years ago?
Right.
She's like the best part of that movie, in my opinion. She is such a great actress, and she always like takes the role, takes the stand, like takes over in her performances. Mm-hmm.
I love her in...
Dee Wallace. I said Dee Wallace's.
I love her in The Frighteners. Oh, she's so good in that.
Fucking right, dude. That movie's so awesome.
Right, Jake Busey's girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she was so good in that. But yeah, she was. She's had
a steady, consistent, like great career.
Amazing.
Like from the 70s and then 80s, 90s. Like we're talking about movies from different fucking like decades. Because we could even talk about Cujo.
Right.
And then The Howling.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's crazy to see her
and
her work. And then
she was
of course.
E.T.'s fucking mom. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, she doesn't do cons, does she?
I don't know. I couldn't imagine.
I couldn't imagine her doing them either.
Maybe like early 2000s stuff like that, she would have been doing it. But now I feel like she doesn't have to.
She should.
You know? Yeah, no.
I mean, not that there's anything. I love it. I would love to be able to go see her. That's why I ask. You know, and just say thank you for all the amazing stuff you put out.
Yep.
But yeah, her career's been amazing. So yeah, as far as acting, sorry, I really
you're
think
good, man.
Dee Wallace is just an amazing actress.
Yep.
I would say acting for this, all things considered, 1977. I'm guessing low budget.
I can't imagine it being more than $150,000. I feel like maybe $300.
But it was done perfect. The most important thing to me, I think, is camera. Mm-hmm. Because you want to get those nice, clean shots, unless you're going for that like found footage, effect.
The music too. You have to think about this. Like all it is like shots of the desert,
right?
Like them going in and out of a fucking Winnebago or whatever that is,
or caves,
RV,
right.
or caves for like 5 minutes. Like there's not a whole lot of like cinema like things that they can work with in the background to make it look cooler. But yeah, dude, no, Wes Craven's directing on this is amazing, and the cinematography is crazy. But no, let's get back to the acting. My bad. Absolutely.
Our production assistant or producer Smuggins is saying it was $230,000.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's yeah, I'm gonna say for acting for this, and it's a little dated, but that's how people were back then. Mm-hmm. You know, I was close to back then. I'm gonna give this an 80. I think that's where I stand. If I had to go on the low end, I'd say 75. If I had to go high, I'd say 82.
Yeah, I mean, I could see. I could see that.
I'm giving you room. I'm giving you room.
No,
you have to be in that range.
Talk about
75 to 82.
Get the fuck out of here. And then you gave me the straight number, 80.
Are you thinking higher?
I'm thinking 100%. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking around, guys. No, for acting, honestly, I could probably go like 81.
Well, there you go. I don't have a problem with that.
I know you don't.
What the fuck's the fight about?
There wasn't a fight. I just wanted to make it seem like there was a fight. All right.
All right.
Dr. Jayhem, it's been pretty boring on the show lately.
It has been.
I'm just kidding.
We've been agreeing too much.
We have.
You know what? Liz? When Smuggins isn't here, we tend to get along better. He's like the catalyst to this.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just kidding. So we got an 81%. That's good.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't mention Russ Grieve as Big Bob. Did you say Russ Grieve?
I thought I did.
And Janice Blythe, who played Ruby, because Janice Blythe made it into The Hills Have Eyes 2, the sequel, and so did the kid that played the son and the son-in-law. Because they were the
Nicolas Cage looking dude and the porn
Nicolas Cage.
Fucking 70s porn Nicolas Cage dude. Yeah, dude. So they made it into the sequel.
They made it into the sequel. The two dudes weren't in it very long. She was in it for most of.
And then Michael Berryman. I've never seen the sequel, but that sounds silly.
So that's the thing. I'm sure you guys have seen it. I mean, this movie's been out since 1977. It's a classic. But Michael Berryman's character gets his Achilles chewed out by Beast, the German Shepherd, after first getting bit on the neck.
Which, holy shit, man, that German Shepherd is crazy.
What a good dog, though.
What a good dog.
What a good dog. But tore out his Achilles. So Mr. High and I were discussing this and saying, so in the sequel, he comes back and he's running, not even a limp. So this motherfucker lives in the desert. They have some secret guru surgeon, orthopedic surgeon out in the desert that sewed his Achilles together.
Fucking graduated from Harvard, just chilling over there. Like, it's just insane.
Just like, I'm going to take care of these fucking killer mutant people that live in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll get to that part when we get to story.
Well, that won't even be a part of this.
No, well, actually, we are story. That is kind of story.
But yeah, but that's for 2.
Oh, right.
It's not
That's
for
right.
one.
That's right.
The Hills Have Eyes 1, like, I thought the story was all right. Like it's...
It was scary. Driving through the desert, I could see that happening.
Yeah, but then again, like, it could have been all avoided if they'd have just stayed on the main road. Like, the dude told them to, kind of like American Werewolf in London, you know?
Right.
You just pay attention to where you're going.
Yeah, be more aware.
But for the most part, it does seem more realistic. You know, the car breaking down, and then in the 70s, they had no, you know, if you're broken down somewhere, and especially in the middle of the desert, how are you getting a hold of anyone? Where you have to walk.
But wasn't, and correct me if I'm wrong, I could be wrong, in 1977, did they throw out the spikes and pop the tires?
They did, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
they fucked them over. But yeah, like you were saying, if someone's saying don't go that way, you don't want anything to do with what's back there. No.
Or did they?
I know they did it in the remake.
They did do it in the remake.
But I'm trying to think how it happened. No.
I remember they tried to miss the bunny, right?
Yeah.
But and then it fucked up the axle.
He was going really fast because he was pissed off because they were arguing about the jet from the military was doing tests there, and the jet flew by, and it fucking freaked him out because it was like, boom,
That's right, yeah.
And so he was all, and the baby's crying, and Dee Wallace is crying, and then another one flies by, and he freaks out, and the wife throws the map, and it goes over his face.
Yeah.
And then he fucking flips it off, and the bunny's in the road, and he swerves, and they crash. And then he's like, and this fucking wife with her fucking maps.
Yep. She can't. I've been a part of the service or the police department for like 15 years. I've survived this many encounters and to get killed, and she almost kills me by giving me wrong directions. He was one of the funniest fucking parts in that movie, man.
It was great.
The story is kind of solid. I mean,
no, it is. You got to figure.
But obviously, you have to suspend disbelief because, you know,
of course,
10-pound baby,
right?
This fucking baby coming out like a 10-year-old, and then he just leaves him out in the fucking. Oh no. 10-pound baby, and then at 10 years old, he left him out in the woods or out in the desert.
Right.
Like, come on.
Well, he said he nearly split his wife in half. And then when they were talking about Mercury, I believe, the leader of the feral people.
Yeah.
But almost split his wife in half, and then they was finding fucking cats with their legs torn off and dogs down the well and shit, and then they burned the house down and killed his sister and his mom.
Yup, and that's what sent him. That's what got him to fucking get rid of him.
Fred.
Yup.
But story,
I'm thinking somewhere between like a 75 and 80. I don't know if I can go any higher.
Yeah,
like it's
I could sit
good.
at 75. 75 is good. It's a middle C.
In the fucking 70s, I'm sure it was a lot scarier.
It was scary in the 70s.
It was brand new.
There was weird shit like this that would happen. Like, that's kind of Manson-ish. It's like a Manson family in the fucking desert, basically, kind of a commune. And so shit like that happened for real, so it was definitely scary.
Hell yeah. Wes Craven definitely played off of that, what's that called? Paranoia of like the Manson family, you know, just this random acts of violence going on around the United States, you know. No one was safe in the 70s, like it seemed like. Wes Craven definitely played off that, and this movie definitely has little undertones of that. Yeah,
because he did Last House on the Left too, and that's the same.
They associated that to cultish.
Right.
Yeah. Next we got special effects, dude. Special effects. I mean, there's not a whole lot going on. I mean, whenever they tear out the Achilles, that part is pretty crazy. I mean, I guess they do burn the body.
Yeah, the burning of the body wasn't bad for 77. Yeah.
There's a few, like when it's done well.
It wasn't as good as when the remake, obviously, because they have better, technology and stuff.
They did a great job using CGI and fucking what's it called? Practical effects in the remake. I think the special effects, the special effects don't really overpower the movie and the storyline and anything like that. Like if you think back on it, like you think about more of like them trying to survive or them trying to like find, how to get home, and you don't really think about all of the kills that go on, the shots. You don't think, the people getting shot. You don't remember. You don't really think about the fucking the dog tore open, all them fucking body parts and shit.
Right.
It's a pretty brutal movie with
that fucking hurt
with some of the special effects.
Dog,
yeah.
When Beauty got killed. That always gets me
every time.
Fuckers.
Yeah. So unnecessary.
It is so unnecessary, and that's like a rule. It's like an unwritten rule that you shouldn't kill a dog.
Very
in your horror
taboo.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he wanted to. You were saying he wanted to kill the baby off in that too. Like, you know.
In the original, he wanted to kill the baby, and the cast and crew were like, "We walk.
We're out." Yeah.
If you're doing that, we walk.
He was trying to push the limits with this one. You know, not really to the extent of to the extent of The Last House on the Left.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it seemed like Wes Craven writing and directing this, you know, definitely try to push the limits. But there were some things that even the actors didn't want to deal with.
Absolutely not. And the first time he submitted this, it was an X rating. He had to cut the shit out of it for sure. But yeah, killing the baby, even nowadays, that's hard to get away with.
It really is.
You know, people just
really
don't.
is.
That's just too much.
It is.
You know, even if it does fucking happen, God forbid, nobody wants to see that.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, no one wants to see that. Yeah, you go to the movies to escape reality. You don't want to deal with something even worse. Well, I guess some people don't.
Kill all the people of full-grown adults you want. You know,
leave the dogs and babies
You can even
alone.
kill middle schoolers. I'll let that slide. But don't fucking kill babies and don't kill fucking animals.
Yeah.
Or you can kill snakes. Kill all the snakes and spiders you want to.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
So for special effects, what do you think for the numbers? Like,
You tell me what you want. Do you want a range or do you want a hard number?
I would give me the range.
For a range, I'm going to say 70 to 77.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking somewhere in between that. I can go like, what about like 72?
Yeah, I can do that.
Sounds good.
That was going to be my hard number.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Damn, man. We got that
What
telepathy
the fuck's
shit
up
going
with that?
on.
We're agreeing too much.
I
Agreeing
know,
too much
that's what I'm
lately.
saying. That's why I try to shake things up in the beginning.
Terror Factor is next. So for Terror Factor, like we were saying, back in the 70s, yeah, this was scary because it was shit that would, not so much this exactly, obviously, but it would happen in the news, you know, like Manson and fucking other crazy, what's his name? Ted Bundy, serial killer type, real people shit.
Yeah.
So people were
cultist type
scared.
stuff. Mm-hmm.
You know, they were definitely scared of this. And most people back in those days used to leave their doors unlocked, you know, most neighborhoods. You know.
Oh, yeah. Throw their keys in their car, leave them on the side of the road, get in the
Right.
car with someone else. You know, they do that shit in American Graffiti.
Right.
They just didn't care in the 70s. Like I said before, it's probably just because they weren't like used to hearing all of those stories daily
Right.
like we are.
It doesn't mean that people just went bad. It was always happening.
It was
You
always
just didn't hear
happening,
about
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it just fucking went. But no, I can't remember. I know I didn't see this when it came out. I would have been too young. Yeah, 77. But I probably saw this as a teenager in high school. And I remember, yeah, it was pretty fucking scary. And it was gruesome for the time that I saw it, you know. The effects were okay. There was a lot of blood. And just it was terrifying, you know, the helpless women in the trailer and these fucking two mutant dudes come in and we talked about this before. We talked about last week. So her being sexually assaulted is implied.
I believe so.
Right?
Yeah, it definitely seems like it is.
Yeah, that's what I get in both movies, which is cool. I'm glad they don't like glorify it by showing.
Go all in, yeah.
But yes, everyone who I've asked a few people since then, and yes, they all say, yeah, I get the implication that she was sexually assaulted,
yeah.
which is terrifying too. Even, you know.
Yeah. These people are animals.
They are.
And they show it throughout the whole thing. Like, there's zero sympathy in any of their fucking eyes. And it's crazy to see that. When the dad, or like the kid who was like, you know, 10 pounds, you know, kicked out of the fucking gas station.
The Mercury.
Well, Mercury, yeah. Mercury, you know, in that he's like in that scene where he's talking to the burnt up dad, you know, yelling at him like, I'm gonna eat your kids' brains. I'm gonna eat your kids' brains. It's so fucking like graphic and just you're terrified to listen to it. And you know, there are cannibals out there in the real life, and it's just so fucking scary. Like and like seeing this movie in the 70s, you know, if I would have seen it in the 70s, I probably would have been afraid to go on vacation for a long time. You know?
Yeah, fuck yeah. On a driving vacation?
The 70s was probably the worst time for vacations because, you know, you got Jaws coming in at, 72, was it? And then you got this coming in at 77. You're not safe in the beach. You're not safe driving cross country, you know, if you fucking break down, there's gonna be some sort of hillbilly fucking family ready to kill you. It's so crazy. It's Terror Factor. I think it's wild.
Before I forget, I'm gonna take a note. We should write a movie about a traveling scary movie.
That'd be cool, dude.
We should just sit at the computer and write it down, all of us.
Yeah, I'm down, dude. That sounds like
Don't
a good
steal
time.
our ideas, our huge fucking following. We know what you're up to, motherfuckers. I'm so tired of answering all your fucking Instagram comments. Fuck.
Yep.
We'd love to hear from you, but there are some people who do message us on Instagram, and we appreciate it.
Loving it.
Yep, for sure.
So what are you thinking for Terror Factor? What's your number? Or wait, you just gave numbers. Let me give you mine.
Yeah, please.
What do you want? Range or set hard number?
Who the fuck are you?
You better answer the question, Dr. Jayhem.
I want a range, because I don't trust you with a hard number.
All right, so for a range, man, range, I have to say somewhere between like a 75 and 80, because it is, like, you got to think about when the movie came out and how...
I'd go a little higher.
Genre... Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I could go a little bit higher, too, but
I feel for terror, I would be comfortable with an 82. I could be perfectly happy with an 82, because I do remember it being younger and seeing it. It was really scary. And watching the remake of this is almost a shot-for-shot remake, at least for the first hour and like 15, 20 minutes. It's like almost shot-for-shot. And it's the same story, and it's scary. It's just updated, which is cool. It's a true remake, you know? So the terror's there. I feel it. So I think
it is there for sure. I think we talked about this last week. I think that's what Wes Craven's like remakes all are. But I've never seen.
They're updates, basically.
Yeah, I've never seen The Last House on the Left, but you know, Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake in 2009 was pretty much like a shot-for-shot remake, and The Hills Have Eyes, same thing. And
wait, you never saw The Last House on the Left, the original or the remake?
The remake.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just as. Yeah.
I feel like it's probably shot for shot. Yeah, I feel like that's Wes Craven's, you know, calling card. You know, you can't change up his shit because it's already.
It's where he wants it to be. Yeah, and you have to get his permission.
It's got it. Yeah. All right, so yeah, I'm cool with 82.
Cool.
I could even go up 83, 84.
We'll make up your mind. I'll go to 84 if you want.
Yeah, let's do 84.
Sounds good. Because I was kind of pulling back a little bit.
Were you?
Yeah. It was when I saw, I mean, now.
I would make a solid 85. How you feel about that?
No, I think 84 is good.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, back in the day, I probably would have said, like, yo, that's a fucking 90, like when I saw this for the first time. But now, yeah, it's a little dated, but it's a solid movie. I recommend it. It's scary.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
Production value, I'm going to say, for production value, I don't know. It was okay. It's hard for me to gauge it because it's so 70s, you know, but I think it looks pretty good. It's mostly desert, which is free, you know?
Yeah.
So what'd they spend? $230,000 on this, and they did the car was good. They had trailer, guns. The makeup, which kind of falls under effects, like Mercury's face was kind of, you remember that? Kind of deformed.
A little bit, yeah.
It was a little cheesy.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. I'd like to hear your numbers first, if that's okay. I know you did yours.
I got you. Pluto, you know, whenever the fucking Achilles gets torn out, that does look a little bit weird. The bone and, you know, that kind of stuff. You can definitely tell like it's...
Yeah.
It kind of looks gelatin.
Right.
And you can tell like it wasn't... Oh, yeah.
Right.
It was too red, and then the bone part was like way too white. Like,
right.
Like it's like he like cut the bone in half and like just showed like all the marrow in the middle. Like,
it was a crazy contradiction.
It seemed like it was too realistic, I guess. You know, I feel like that's not how it would look. It would be a lot darker. You know, probably like blood just spewing out, just fucking everything up. But anyways, for the most part, this movie did seem really cool. Like, I like how Wes Craven, you know, uses the same camera angles or camera shots in a lot of his movies. You know, he likes that turned, you know, kind of like off balance or like funhouse effect camera angle.
It's a tilt.
The tilt, yeah. And he used that a few times in this, and it's awesome. One time in the cave scene, you know, and he knew how to use close ups real well. He knew the angles. This dude was a genius with all that stuff. I liked it for the production value. I'd have to go somewhere between like 83 and 87.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wowee.
Go ahead.
We should have did that with the YouTube. We should put it on the tilt. I didn't even think of that.
The tilt's always awesome, man.
Yeah.
And like in the next one, the people under the stairs, he does the same thing, like down the hallway. It's really cool.
So holy shit, you said 87 for production value. How about 85?
Okay.
Is that cool? Because you said 83 to 87.
That works for me, man.
Yeah.
I like
that's
it.
cool. I can get behind that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is definitely a scary movie. You could get away with just watching the remake. I do like the remake a little bit better, only because I like, and I think we talked about this too, how the only thing that really was different in the remake was where the mutant family was living, which was like old houses where they tested H-bombs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that kind of made it scary because when he was fighting that big motherfucker
with
that fucking giant axe in the house, and he was so limited with where he could go, that made it fucking scary.
Yeah,
that's the remake though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the same scene, like that thing with the giant head, like saying in the or laying in the chair, like talking shit. It's so creepy, man. I agree that like the remake might actually be.
What was the song that was playing?
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh, the remake was better, dude.
I think
hands down it was better for sure. But the story's the same. Nothing away from the story at all.
Yeah,
but yeah, that dude in the chair.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was it's fucking frightening. So our overall grade for this was 79.4%.
That's cool.
High C.
I'm good with that. Yeah,
cool with that
almost
too.
a B.
Yeah, yeah.
Just shy of a B.
Before we get on to this next one, I do want to say I fucked up my top 3 last week. I completely forgot about the movie Red Eye by from Wes Craven with Cillian Murphy and what's that girl's name?
Rachel McAdams.
Rachel McAdams,
Shoot.
yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you, dude. Dude, like he that has to be my top 3. I'd have to get rid of what I don't even remember my other 3. I got Scream, The Last House on the Left, and whatever that third one was, get rid of that shit. I don't even remember it. So that'd be the Red Eye.
Oh, Nightmare on Elm Street, maybe.
No, it might have been Scream 2 or 4.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay,
get rid of
so
that.
Red Eye's moved up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta watch Red Eye again. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Great fucking movie, man. All right.
Our next report card: The People Under the Stairs.
Yup. Dr. Jayhem top 3.
Top 3, definitely.
Yep.
It's just a fun movie to me. You know, I put it and this is weird, but I put it into a category with like a Poltergeist, because Poltergeist to me was so much fun, but still had some scary. Yeah. Same with this. You know, it's kind of a similar thing to me. But yeah, I really like this.
This movie is so much fun. Like, it definitely feels like a cartoony
sort
of. You know, there's some scenes, especially when with Everett McGill, you know, screaming like he does, or whenever he like thinks he got got Brandon Adams and he's like jumping around with his gun, like, I got him. Like, it's so dumb,
costume.
Dude. And then he's got his GIMP costume and shit, you know,
which is so like fucking weird. And we talked about this last week too, where you were saying maybe he had that on to protect himself from bites from the humanoid creatures in the basement or under the stairs.
And then he walks out chasing Brandon Adams and AJ Langer when there should have been no reason for him to be wearing the costume.
Right.
What the fuck was he wearing it for? I think you were right. I think he was just a fucking weirdo.
He was a pervert, man. He was just a fucking weirdo pervert. And they were so God this, God that, and he's running around with this shotgun like, I missed the motherfucker. You know?
Oh man, it was
good though. So that was kind of scary, kind of creepy, but funny as fuck too. And Ving Rhames, fuck his lines.
Dude,
hit me with the Ving Rhames.
I fucking love Ving Rhames in that movie, man. Whenever he first opens up the door and the door, he's like, and the shelf like moves aside, and he just looks at Brandon Adams fool. He's like, I just done busted this house's cherry. And then he like opens the door and he's like, she'll open up right to me. And then the dog comes up and starts eating him and shit. And he's like freaking out, get him off me, fool. Dude, that was one of the funniest things, man. Ving Rhames had the best character. Dude, he's awesome in everything.
Absolutely.
Piranha 3D, fucking Dawn of the Dead.
Favorite part of Dawn of the Dead. Ving Rhames, favorite actor in that movie, for sure.
For sure.
So, Ving Rhames, Brandon Adams, like we've just been talking about. Everett McGill, who we've talked about before in Silver Bullet.
So creepy.
Who's just creepy as is.
Yeah.
I bet you he does cons.
He probably does.
I bet you.
Yeah. He might be too old though. He's got to be in his 70s.
He's got to be. But you know.
Yeah. You never know.
Yeah. If you can say, "Hey, how you doing?" People will take a picture with you, you know, and pay for it.
That's true.
And then Sean Whalen as Roach. He's recognizable. Most notably for me in Twister.
Yeah.
But
very like background character.
Right.
Like,
but yeah,
he's got that very like familiar face.
He does, and really young looking. Actually, Roach, he's supposed to be playing a 15, 16-year-old in this, but he was actually 27 playing the role. That's how young he looked, you know, like 10 years younger.
And that's crazy to think about because in Twister, they came out in what, 96?
Yeah.
97, something like that. This was like 5 years later.
So he's
like
in
he'd
his
have been
30s,
in his 30s, and he looked like he was like 18, 19 years old.
Right. Whatever he looks like now, we should look him up. See what he looks
probably
like.
looks like a fucking
20,
infant,
25, 20. Yeah, he's got Benjamin Button disease.
Little Benjamin Button disease, yeah.
But yeah, I like him. I've seen him in a lot of stuff. Nothing you can remember because he's so like background.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's good at that.
And this he's cool. He brings a really nice comedic aspect to it, and it really like pushes the story forward to like make you think that it could be like some sort of like fairy tale, modern fairy tale like spin-off, rip-off type shit.
Has like a Robin Hood and the Lost Boys feel, right?
A little bit.
Sort of, you know?
I can see that. Yeah. And, you know, it's like, it's got that, well, we're not even in that story. We'll talk about that later.
Right.
What are you thinking for acting, Dr. Jayhem?
I like the acting. Wendy Robbie played the woman to Everett McGill's man, or mommy to daddy, which was so weird.
Yeah, that was so weird.
So weird, because they're brother and sister, but they call each other mommy and daddy.
I completely forgot that was the thing.
And then you throw in the GIMP costume, and I'm just like, something bad's implied here.
There is some weird shit going on.
Something very illegal in all 50 states is going on here. Maybe not West Virginia. Just kidding.
Oh, shit.
We love you, West
Virginia, yo.
We love you guys in West Virginia. I'm just kidding.
Oh, shit.
Lou! We love Lou! Dr. Lou, one of our substitute teachers. Man. We love you, Lou. But anyway, for acting in this, I thought they all did good. Everett McGill's just fucking creepy. I don't even think it's his acting. I think it's just good fucking casting.
Just him. Yeah.
You know?
Everett McGill didn't even have a whole lot to say.
No.
Man. He probably had like 10 words that he said throughout the whole movie. You know, there's the 5 words in the beginning saying, "and we can buy more meat." And then, you know, there's that one scene where he uses the hard R, which was crazy, man.
Right.
You know, this movie, like all the social aspects behind it, you know, and the thoughts on gentrification and shit like that. It's just crazy to see, and you know, hearing us talk about, you know, how it could be kind of like a fairy tale, like portrayal. It's weird to also think about the social cues that's in it.
Right.
Like, the movie's awesome.
So speaking of the hard R. Wes Craven uses that a lot in his movies, at least in the earlier ones. In Hills Have Eyes, they use it, right?
I don't remember.
I swear they do, or maybe it might be
The Last
both.
House on the Left. I think that they would have had no reason to.
What else did I just watch? I swear, because I actually was like, wow, he uses that a lot. Actually.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember exactly.
But I think it had. He was. We were talking about it last week. He's involved in some gentrification projects and stuff like that, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like he uses that. I feel like he puts that kind of stuff in there just so he can because that's got to be the most evil word. Like that's got to be the most disrespectful, hateful word that's ever been, you know, thrown out there, in my opinion. And like I feel like when you hear that in movies, and like it really like makes you hate that character, and that's usually what he's trying to push is the hatred of and the evilness of the character. So I don't think he ever puts it in there, you know, just to put it in there. But yeah, the Hills Have Eyes, I don't remember it being said in there. And the Last House on the Left, I don't remember if they would have had a reason to. But yeah, man, like either way, he's a great director, man.
Oh, absolutely, I agree, and I love the Hills Have Eyes. It's in my top 3. So for acting, what do we say? Did you give one yet?
I did not. You want me to get my numbers first?
No, I'll do it. So acting, I'm going to say I'll put this at a low of 82 and a high of 88.
All right. Yeah, I'd like to go your high because, I mean, the acting, 88% definitely deserves it. Like Ving Rhames alone,
I can get down on that.
Gets 80%, man.
Right.
And then Brandon Adams, You know, they're like
Evan
he's
McGill
amazing.
being himself.
Yeah, him just being a fucking weirdo, man.
Which we were talking about that too. Mr. High was saying he'd have made a really good Slender Man, and I fucking agree. Dude, he's so long. He's not even super tall. Like 6'2".
Yeah, 6'2", but his arms come down to his fucking ankles,
Fucking
man.
right.
This dude looks like he can like touch the top, like a basketball court without even jumping. Like he
Mr.
looks
High
like
was saying he gets winded putting his hands on his hips. His arms are so
It takes that
long.
motherfucker 10 seconds to put his hands on his hips, man. The fucking distance from his kneecaps to his
Right.
arm,
I think-
you know.
I think
length in his
88's
arms
fair,
is
though,
crazy.
don't you think? You cool with that?
I'm cool with that, yeah.
Yeah, okay, awesome.
Next, we got story. I like the story. I think that they definitely put this movie into perspective, and they definitely hit on all the social cues that they wanted to hit, and you know the just the thought behind the reason why they're going to rob this place. You know and never imagining the shit that they were actually going to go through whenever they get there. It's just it's a great, well-rounded story.
So I watched this. I didn't watch it super recently, but within the past 2 weeks, I watched this. Probably within the past week.
Nice.
Correct me if I'm wrong, or remind me if I'm forgetting. Do they ever really specify where they are geographically? Like, I get the impression they're in suburban Los Angeles or suburban Orange County somewhere.
See, I thought it was like.
Are you thinking?
I was thinking New York.
I guess it could be Chicago too.
It could be Chicago.
I don't think they ever. It could be suburban Chicago because it's like supposed to be a nicer house, and it does have a big yard and shit. It looks nice.
I don't remember if they specified where they were at exactly.
For some reason, I don't know why, but so, like Los
It
Angeles,
might have
or
been Los Angeles.
Southern California kind of stands out.
Yeah, that definitely sounds about right.
So,
Oh man, What's up?
Did you land on something for story, or did we talk about it?
I don't even know if we talked about it yet. Actually, I talked about it. What were you thinking for story?
For story, okay. So, for story on this, I like the story. I think it's pretty original, sort of. It's kind of Hansel and Gretel-y, but the Hansel and Gretel are the robbers, and mommy and daddy are gross.
Yeah, yeah, fucking disgusting.
The people under the stairs, I don't get the mutation so much. Like, would that really happen?
Yeah, I don't know how that would work. I guess if you
Unless they actually are their children and they're deformed from being inbred.
Yeah, maybe they watched the family or their parents before them kidnap people. Maybe that's like generations of people.
Might be.
Like who knows what they are under
Gross.
there? Yeah, but they've been eating people.
really
They became
gross.
cannibals. Yeah, I'm sure. They're not getting any sunlight because they're in the basement. Like I feel like a few years. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know how fast a mutation like that, or like some sort of like a
If
breakdown of mental.
If
on
they're
society.
inbred, though, well, they had physical mutations.
They did have physical mutations too.
Inbreeding would cause that.
Yeah.
Or could cause that, I would say.
Good, yeah.
So maybe I never really thought about it, but maybe that is what they were.
Yeah, because I mean they were living with their family before that, right? Their family was living there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Generations of motherfuckers, man.
Yeah,
and
that's
shit.
nuts. And then when at the end, spoiler alert, turn it off. At the end, when they kind of get out after the explosion, they're just all running around. Where are they going? I guess they're just happy to be outside. It's just probably fucking amazing to them.
Yeah,
kind of
man.
feel bad for them.
Yeah, I mean, if no one's paying attention,
Yeah,
like you had said with
there's money everywhere.
They don't know what money is,
Right, but I'm saying no one's paying attention to them because everyone's trying to fucking grab up the dough.
Yeah, man, I could have just given them the perfect opportunity to fucking take off.
Absolutely, and that's what they did. Yeah,
yeah, they were smarter than the fucking prisoners in Aftershock.
Right.
By Dr. Jayhem logic.
Fucking right. Fucking right they are.
Shit.
So story, I would go. Okay, for story, it's pretty original. It's got some cool little twists in there. People under stairs. It's got a couple layers to it.
Yeah, it's got a lot of familiar tropes and like feelings behind it. It
Right.
feels a little nostalgic too. Watching the movie, like just with just with how the creatures look. It's
very
got a
Wes
weird,
Craven.
Very Wes Craven.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's got
man.
that feel.
I think it's cool.
I do too. I agree 100%. I'm going to put this at, for story, between an 86 and a 92. It's probably high for you.
That's a little high. I'm at.
I could probably go down to an 85.
Yeah, I was thinking an 85 would be the number for me.
I could do 85.
Sounds good, man.
I enjoy the story. I like it because it seems like it's a perfect mix of scary and comedy and creepy. That fucking gimp mask on Everett McGill.
It's so weird.
Especially knowing he's under it. You know?
It makes it even creepier.
Extra creepy.
Yeah. What were these cops doing in this fucking in this city, man?
I know.
Like, honestly, like, unless this place is like really soundproof, you should be able to hear shots.
Like, you should, but they had that control panel.
Yeah, they did. They were still able to look out through windows. The only thing covering them were bars. That shouldn't stop sound, right? Well, I guess they were banging on the door, but they never really got attention of anybody.
Those people were in the basement. The other ones are on the walls.
Yeah, but he was upstairs shooting all throughout the walls, and like you would think that
that would be heard.
That would be heard by someone.
Yeah, that'd be how you'd have to. Even insulation, you'd still hear that shit. That's a fucking shotgun.
And it was that's what I'm saying, man. So there are some things that kind of didn't make sense.
Suspend disbelief.
Yeah, you'd have to. Yeah. But either way, it was pretty cool.
So 85 is that 85. Where we're landing? Cool.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're up, sir.
Okay. All right.
Right?
Nah, you're up.
All right, special effects. Special effects in this.
I like the makeup on the fucking
people
creatures,
downstairs.
The people downstairs. I like it. I thought.
Yeah, I did too. It's creepy.
I thought
there's more set decoration than special effects. I think
a lot of set decoration for sure, man. I thought Ving Rhames' double was kind of cool until I actually looked at it and thought about it. He had his arms up like this, like as a dead person with his guts, rib cage broken out and shit like that. So that didn't really make sense. I feel like his arms would have been down to his side and like limped over. You know what I'm talking about? So that was a little bit, out of the ordinary.
Right. I don't know what's going on with Ghost Story here.
I don't know either, man. This is fucking.
I have no idea what's happening with that.
Smug.
No, it's cool. Let it go. We're riding. Special effects. Yeah, there really weren't a lot of special effects in this.
No.
I'm trying to think. There's no real blood. I mean, the dude that gets killed, they kind of just put pancake makeup on him.
Yeah. They got the hand.
The hand was cool. That's true. Cool. I did like the hand. You said it looked more like a steak.
It looked like a steak when she was going to throw it to him, like whenever she was walking.
Definitely. It was floppy.
Yeah, whenever he's actually like eating on it, it looks more like a hand.
It's pretty cool. The one finger's kind of jiggling.
Yeah.
That's probably the best special effect in the movie I can think of.
Mm-hmm. I do like how the house is like rigged to,
I do too.
Like what is it called? Move shit aside or lock things
Secret passages and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's the floor one too, because what's his name? Roach makes the dog slide down. Remember?
Yeah.
It's like a trap door. Yeah.
Yep.
It's pretty cool, and that's cool. Why this movie has a kids movie feel to it.
That's where the fairy tale aspects come from.
Yeah, but then there's the dark themes where and
it's rated R,
and it should be because he's wearing a fucking sex S&M costume.
Yeah, man.
It's fucking creepy. But yeah, no, the makeup and that hand is probably the best of the best of the special effects. Yeah. Even the blood was a little bit too red.
A little bit,
but it's very Wes Craven, and you got to respect,
Hell yeah. I'm thinking for special effects, my numbers have to be somewhere between like 80 to 85. I could even be talked less.
82.
But I need to be talked down. Oh, you can go
80 to 85. I could even go for special effects. I could go to 80. I think 80 is fair. Yeah. That's giving it a B still.
That's still a B, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not bad.
Mm-mm.
And it definitely deserves it, man. Like they were definitely trying like Wes Craven put his stamp on this movie, and you can tell from the whole start, and you can tell in the special effects and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Cartoon factors to it. Next, we got Terror Factor. I think it is scary to a certain degree.
The humor takes away from the scare.
There's not a whole lot of humor.
Every time Ving Rhames opens his mouth, I'm laughing. He's funny. His lines are funny.
He does have some of the funny parts, yeah. But he was serious. Like whenever he grabs up Brandon Quentin Adams in the kitchen, and he's yelling at his sister saying, "Don't touch me." He can play that serious character. Like he brought a little bit of the drama, and seeing his badass character and like him actually showing fear whenever he gets inside.
Right.
it definitely added to the terror factor. I didn't think that he was that funny. He did have some funny parts, but I didn't think he'd be the funniest part. I thought Roach would have been the funniest part. Roach running around in the background, he's shooting Everett McGill in the face with the fucking.
Everett McGill and Wendy Roby are fucking funny. Their interactions with each other are funny.
They're funny because they're crazy.
Yeah, and creepy.
Yeah.
But still, it's comedic, I think. I'm not saying this movie wasn't scary. It's definitely scary, but it's not like high on a terror factor scale.
No. But I feel like we're probably in the same range, but I'm arguing it up, you're arguing it down. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's a thing, right?
It's weird, right? We're like, yeah.
All right, on a count of 3, you say the numbers, I'll say the numbers.
Range numbers? Or hard numbers?
Let's range it.
No, let's do hard numbers, and then we can maybe split the difference.
Okay, all right.
If we even have to. Wait, how many seconds?
I'm going to count to 3.
Wait.
1, 2, 3.
Oh,
not
not fast. Go 1.
I know, I got you. Yeah.
All right, wait. So let me get a number for terror factor.
Right.
Okay, I'm locked in.
All right, you're locked in.
Yes.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
77.
Oh wow.
So 75.
75 sounds good, man. That's my high. I don't know if I can.
I was hard number. Yeah, 177. I thought it was good.
Oh man.
Oh shit.
I was really expecting a lower number because of the
I like
funny
this
aspect.
movie a lot.
I do too. Like, but
and
yeah,
I'm just
roach
saying
scenes are.
They are good,
and
it's scary. It's like, especially as a kid, thinking at it from a kid's perspective, like being when he goes back in that fucking house, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You were out. You're free. But he's a good kid. He's going to save the girl. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'd have been like, fuck that.
I'll
go call the cops. Yeah.
Well, he did too. Yeah, he did that one saying that there was child abuse and there was nothing. And you know what? We forgot to add this in acting. Bill Cobb, who was the grandpa, is a great actor in everything that he's in, man. All of the movies that he shows up in, and I feel like he's been in a few horror movies. I can't think of really exactly which ones they would be. Was he in Vampire in Brooklyn?
Bill Cobb.
Bill Cobbs, yeah. Either way, he's a great actor. I just want to throw that out there because I forgot to talk about him.
I think he might have.
He was in Blood In, Blood Out.
He's been in a lot of stuff.
He's in a ton of shit, dude.
I like him a lot.
I think he's actually in New Jack City. I think he's the one who kills Nino Brown.
No, dude, he's in a ton of stuff.
He's always in something. Yeah, he's a great actor, man. He and we forgot to give him his respects in this one.
For sure.
And but back to production value, because that's what we're on, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was cool, man. The sets were cool. The camera angles were cool. There were some problems with continuity errors because there's this one scene where Everett McGill, after Fool and AJ Langer are trying to escape for the last time, there's this part where they hide, but they make it seem like they went somewhere else. And Everett McGill's downstairs, and he's like, "Oh shit, they walked outside the back door." And he says, "Open up the kitchen door." And the door opens. He walks through it, and then it cuts away. The shot comes back, and the mom was upstairs. Did they have self-opening doors? When did they introduce that?
Yeah, I don't.
I don't remember them ever saying anything about that. I understand this thing was rigged up, but there were some errors that I was like, wait a minute, maybe they should have put a little bit more depth into that, because now it just seems like he knows that things are fucking opening doors for him, or what was the point of it? But that's just my problem, there were some continuity errors, man.
Production value for this, yeah, it was okay. It was good. It was. That's where I thought the cartooniness came in too, kind of with the set decoration.
Yeah.
It just kind of had that spooky Scooby-Doo haunted house feel to it.
All of the crawl spaces and everything definitely added to it.
Though.
It really was.
Goonies-ish reminded me a little bit of that too.
Oh yeah. What are you thinking for number on production?
Production value, I'll give you a range. I'll say 74 to 80 is my range for production value.
So Dr. Jayhem, I kind of.
You going one higher?
I agree with you.
Oh, you agree?
I agree with you. That is the range. I kind of want to disagree with you, but but I just can't do it, dude. And this is the last subject of the report
the
cards.
more we do this together, I think the more on the same page.
I think so, man. Holy shit. Yeah, I gotta go with that same range. What was it again? 72 to 80?
74 to 80.
74 to 80?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go 70 to 78, 79, 78.
78 sounds
All
good.
Right.
For production value, yeah, that sounds good. That's I see.
Oh yeah, man.
So,
like summary comments, man. I like this movie. Like you said, it's in your top 3.
It is.
It
is. It's in my top 3 because it's fun. It's a movie it's one of them ones that when it's on, I'll watch it
all the time.
I might not. It's not like one of those where I'll watch the whole thing. Like if I have something I gotta do, I'll put it on, I'll watch until I have to go do what I gotta do.
Yeah.
There's movies where I'll fuck off whatever I have to do and watch the end of the movie, you know what I mean?
No, I understand that completely.
But yeah, I do. As far as the Wes Craven movies go, yeah, I find it really enjoyable. Definitely top 3 for me.
Cool.
Cut.
Nope.
Oh.
So our overall grade was 81.2%.
I meant cut his throat.
It's an idea we're pitching for the new video that we're going to be putting up on our YouTube channel, guys. Right. 81.2%. It definitely deserves it.
Yeah,
I love this movie.
That's perfect. That's low B.
Fucking right.
Yeah, cool. All right, guys. This week we're going to talk about ghost stories because we want to assign some homework involving ghost stories, and we want you guys to enjoy some ghost stories.
Yeah, and who doesn't like a good ghost story, man? They're always so much fun. They're always like, there's always a couple that have like great fucking like haunted house value to it, you know? Kind of like High Spirits. You ever seen High Spirits?
Yeah.
With, man, what's dude's name from Police Academy? Guttenberg.
Steve Guttenberg.
Steve Guttenberg.
Yeah.
Dude, that's such a good fucking movie, man.
The cover art for that always reminds me of Beetlejuice for some reason. Is it like
it looks like it's very Beetlejuice-ish.
Right, that's what I thought.
I love talking about ghost stories, and I can't wait to talk about this, man. When you brought up the when we came to this decision to talk about ghosts, I was like, yes.
Yeah, what we do, we go back and forth and kind of throw ideas at each other on what we want to do, and yeah, Mr. High asked, and I had ghost stories on my list for a while, and I figured, it's a good season for it.
Fucking right.
But I just thought of this. Is Beetlejuice a ghost story?
That is a great question.
I think it is. Because they're ghosts.
They are ghosts, and they're haunting that house so that they can get, and they're trying to get to the other side.
And he's a helper. That's a ghost story.
That is a ghost story. Yeah, man, that's a great dude. That's such a great movie. They've been fucking teasing us with a second movie forever now. They just need to hurry up and come out with it. With I don't think Tim Burton did. Tim Burton direct that movie? I know he had a producing credit. No, I'm thinking of Nightmare Before Christmas. He didn't direct. He did.
I think he did Beetlejuice. Though.
I think you're right. I think he did. But dude, that movie's so great. They just need to hurry up and come out with a second one, man. Michael Keaton's not getting any younger.
Right,
Pittsburgh boy, right there, man.
Absolutely. Shout out to Pittsburgh.
That's right.
13 Ghosts. Haven't seen that in a long time.
It's been a minute.
I do remember when I first saw it, I thought it was pretty fucking scary. Those are some good ass ghosts, really cool effects.
The effects are amazing in this.
Had to be a mix of CGI, right?
I feel like some scenes definitely looked more CGI-ish than others.
Because it's been a while.
You're probably right. Yeah, there was probably a good mix of CGI and practical effects. This was what, 2004 that this came out? It's 2001.
Oh wow!
It's crazy to think that this movie's 20 years old this year and it still stands the test of time, in my opinion. Like, it's so scary.
When did Scream come out?
Oh, that was 96.
96, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I like Matthew Lillard is great. I love him
in everything. Yeah, Scooby-Doo.
And Tony Shalhoub too. He's been in a lot of comedy
Punk,
stuff.
I think. Tony Shalhoub, yeah.
Shannon Elizabeth, she was in a few of the Pie movies, American Pie, and whatnot.
She's been in a couple of remakes and shit like that too. Like she did
a Scary Movie too.
Well, she was in Scary Movie also, yeah. But she was also in Night of the Demons.
Oh yeah, with Edward Furlong. He was in that too.
Was he in that one?
I believe so.
With Mia, whatever from Friday the 13th or Freddy vs. Jason.
I think so. Yeah, the one with Shannon Elizabeth, Night of the Demons. He was in it. He was outside the house trying to get in.
Oh, okay, yeah, dude, that's such a good movie. Well, wait a minute.
Am I right? Am I right?
Yeah, I think you're right. Edward Furlong, you said?
I think so.
I don't remember.
Night of the Demons, the remake from
Monica Keene.
Yeah, 2000.
Yeah, Edward Furlong, wasn't it?
I thought so.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
I thought so, motherfucker.
Dude, no, that movie was terrible. But Shannon Elizabeth does have a little bit of a horror background, and 13 Ghosts was probably like one of her first fucking films,
one of her best,
and it was one of her best, hands down, dude.
Not so much for her performance. I can't remember how big of a performance she was in that. Was she?
I don't think she had that big of a part. But I honestly, I probably haven't seen this.
Me too.
Since probably
more than 10 years, I would say,
probably,
for sure. Might be closer to 20. But yeah, I actually, I'm going to watch this again recently for sure.
Oh, yeah.
When I was looking over some lists for ghost stories, there were some that I never really thought of as ghost stories. And then I was like, it is a ghost story. The fucking Shining. Mm-hmm. The Shining's a huge ghost story.
It really is, man. That whole, all the scenes where he's in the bar or in the banquet room.
All ghosts.
All ghosts, yeah. The movie, that's got to be one of the most famous ghost stories, too.
For sure. Well known. One of the most well known. But you don't really, I never really thought about it. It's just a fucking scary ass fucking movie.
Could that also be considered like a possession type thing, though? Because Jack Nicholson starts going crazy, but he doesn't go crazy on his own.
Well, yeah, I guess being around a bunch of ghosts might make you go crazy, especially if they're telling you weird shit, the wrong shit, because he never was possessed.
You're right. They do like push him.
Right.
Towards the other
push
side.
him in the wrong direction.
You're right. That's a great movie, man. Shelley Duvall's character, portrayal in that movie as
so
mother.
Good.
It's so good, but like it's so different from what the story, like the real book was.
It is.
Had her looking like, but she's still put on one of the all-time greatest performances. Especially for someone who was scared and had depression and like was just like completely out of her mind not out of her mind, but like freaked out by the end of this movie. It's incredible to see.
You know who could have pulled that off? I think
determination. What's that? Who?
You know who might have been able to pull that off?
Who's
Dee
that?
Wallace.
Oh yeah.
I could see her doing the scared face. And
I can see Dee Wallace doing any
Absolutely.
movie, man. Get rid of any female lead, and I'll take Dee Wallace.
She could have been Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
She could have been. You know what? Get rid of any lead and add Dee Wallace to it,
right.
and it'll be better. You know what? I want to see Dee Wallace. I wanted to see Dee Wallace as Laurie Strode in Halloween. Mm-hmm. That's who I want to see.
Another one that came up that it's not a surprise because I do consider this a ghost story, but we did movies we loved recently, and we didn't talk about this one too much, but I love it, and that's Poltergeist. Mm-hmm. Poltergeist is an awesome movie directed by Tobe Hooper in 1982, produced by Spielberg, and I think George Lucas.
I don't know if George Lucas...
Spielberg for sure.
Spielberg for sure, which he also wrote the fucking the movie too.
Okay.
And the screenplay and all that stuff. I don't know if George Lucas had any parts of it. His lighting crew, who worked with the special effects and visual effects. Yeah, it was like it was something like that. They were a part of it, and that was like a fucking, what's it called? A favor to Steven Spielberg. And honestly, if they didn't have those like light effects, I don't know if the movie would have done as well.
The effects were very Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh yeah.
Like the skull creature coming out the door upstairs. That was right out of that scene at the end when they opened the Ark. But love that shit. Especially when this came out, fucking amazing. Like I said, one of my favorite. It's one of the movies I love for sure. And if for some crazy reason you guys have never seen Poltergeist, stop what you're doing, go watch Poltergeist.
It's got every aspect that of a Steven Spielberg movie. I mean, Tobe Hooper was honestly kind of just like a face.
A puppet.
And, it's
so
weird
Spielberg.
to say.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's weird to say because, Tobe Hooper was such an established director by that time. He had the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and, he had a couple more movies after that. He was blowing up in the horror world. And to hear that Steven Spielberg pretty much, directed it, because they actually, the Film Guild Award or whatever, they looked into possibly giving Steven Spielberg co-directing credit.
Because you could tell. It felt like I always say it's a Steven Spielberg movie.
Every time, man. Well, he was the one who he put his 2 cents in on everything. What's her name? Zelda Rubinstein. Mm-hmm. She even said went out and said that, you know, it was all Steven Spielberg's directing that made this movie. She said she actually went out and took a shot at Tobe Hooper and said that he couldn't direct Traffic.
That's crazy.
The wildest thing, dude. But
that's crazy.
Yeah, man, this movie.
I wonder if he was a dick to her.
I don't know. Maybe he might have been.
That's crazy. He directed the others too.
Did he direct the others?
Yeah, Tobe Hooper.
I didn't know that. He does great with ghost stories, man. He's so versatile. He can make a great slasher movie. He can make great.
Actually, he directed a version of the others. It was a TV show, but based on the same story.
The Nicole Kidman
and Bill
story.
Cobbs is in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna have to watch that because Bill Cobbs is that dude. One of my favorite
But yeah, Tobe
actors.
Hooper's actual biggest thing was Chainsaw.
Oh,
1
hell
and
yeah.
2, yeah, that's his like claim to fame. Mm-hmm. And Poltergeist, which people don't. I'm sorry to say they don't.
They don't think of Tobe Hooper.
I don't see Tobe Hooper in it either, which is weird. I wonder why that was. Like, why even hire him?
Yeah. Steven Spielberg was a huge fan of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, and he really wanted him. Like, I feel like he had Tobe Hooper in on that movie so that he could, for the horror aspects, for the terrifying stuff. You know, he wanted to keep it scary. He wanted to keep it, scary roots. And since Steven Spielberg couldn't direct it himself because he was already directing E.T., he had to find someone else.
Right.
And Tobe Hooper even went out and said, this was the most special effects driven movie I've ever dealt with. It was the first time I'd ever dealt with that, so it was me really learning at this point. So, I feel like Steven Spielberg I don't want to say threw him a bone, but he really taught him a lot. Taught Tobe Hooper a lot. And this movie come out in what, 1982? 1981?
Yeah, 82.
This movie, coming out like that, like I guess Texas Chainsaw Massacre was 75, so it'd have been 7 years. Mm-hmm. It's just incredible. Like, you really don't see a whole lot of Tobe Hooper, fingerprints on it. Right,
at all. I really don't.
No.
I guess maybe a little bit with the skeletons in the pool. Kind of reminds you of the chainsaw kind of ish, which those were real skeletons from India.
Yeah.
I think we talked about that before.
Which is crazy, man. Like, dude. She was already having problems with getting in that pool because she didn't want to get electrocuted.
Right.
She saw all the fucking wires and everything going around. She didn't want to get in there, so Steven Spielberg had to actually like go in there with her. It's 1982 was Steven Spielberg's year, man.
For sure.
He fucking owned it.
For sure. He killed everything he put his hands on. Mm-hmm. So what's some other? Oh shit! I was gonna say something. Damn it! I hate when I do that. I always forget. Anyway, maybe it'll come back to me. Paranormal Activity. But
love Paranormal Activity. Before we move off on
go ahead.
I did want to say, like, Poltergeist had one of the craziest things that I had seen. They had 106 people credited towards their visual effects crew.
That's wild.
Dude, like, this movie really, on the special effects side, really fucking like took things and like elevated it to a whole nother level.
Fuck, the shit spinning around the room.
I know, man. And which brings me to another thing, which I was wrong about last week. I'm pretty sure I said something about the Nightmare on Elm Street rotating room being the first one. This movie came out before, and they did the same type of shit where it was a rotating room. You know where the mom, what's her name?
Jo Beth Williams.
The mom, Jo Beth Williams, is like crawling up on the walls and shit.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that was like the rotating room. Like, and so like they really brought a lot of great things to this great aspect to like the visual effects world. And without this movie, I don't know if we get a lot of the cool shit that we've seen.
And this was written by Steven Spielberg, right? Mm-hmm. So what's so awesome about this to me is the story, the way the story progresses. Whereas in the beginning, it's innocent enough. The mom's into it. She's like, watch this, and puts her fucking daughter on the floor and watches her slide across the floor. Yep. And when the fucking chairs go up on the table, she turns around for a second, turns around, and all the chairs are up. It's just all so cool. The story gets deeper and deeper, and then
every time
the spirits become more benevolent. Mm-hmm. And then shit starts to change, and then the terror starts. And yeah, that scene when she goes up the wall after everything's calm and they think it's all over. So good. And that's where the effects, like that thing in the hall, it's very, very Raiders of the Lost Ark. The similarities are just there.
Yeah.
You know?
It's great to see how they were able to, or it's great to see like some of the camera work that they had used on that too. The scene where she is like down the hall and the hall like extends.
Oh yeah, so good.
That part is always like, and
Makes
it's
it,
got
like,
like a
endless.
Vertigo feel to it from like Alfred Hitchcock and shit. Like it's just crazy to see. Like there's so many great aspects in this movie, and there are new aspects and new tropes that the movie added too. Like the movie Poltergeist, it like you said, Dr. J.M. If you haven't seen it, guys, you need to go out there and fucking watch it.
Don't watch the remake. It's garbage.
Yeah, I actually think I might have fallen asleep during the remake. I don't remember. I think I went to the movies
You're
to
lucky.
see it.
You're actually lucky. And I love Sam Rockwell. It just didn't need to be remade at all.
No.
Did not need to.
No. They should not have dove deeper into, the other side of the closet, the world inside it. That was just too much, man. They just didn't pull it off.
Right.
All right, so you were talking about Paranormal Activity, which we kind of touched up on before in past episodes, but always in our...
This was scary, dude.
Dude, it's one of the scariest fucking like ghost stories
This was
you
found
can hear.
footage, right?
Found footage,
yeah. This was Paranoid Activity. Show name.
Yeah, man, and Hannibal Holocaust, right?
Right.
Yeah, man. This movie is great. Like, just thinking about the budget, just think about, someone actually doing this in their house.
Did you say Hannibal Holocaust?
It wasn't that what
it was Cannabis Holocaust.
Cannabis Holocaust, yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. I was sitting here thinking, like, what's Hannibal?
That's what it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling me out, Dr.
Sorry,
Jayhem.
just less editing in post, that's all.
Dude, it's so cool to see, like, $15,000 to
amazing.
$19,000 budget. Like, it's unheard of.
I want us to be the
2007?
team
What?
that makes the movie like this for like $150. I want us to be pioneers in the $150 and less movie category.
That would be amazing,
Amazing.
man.
I think we can do it.
I think we could. We
Stay
gotta get
tuned.
to it.
Stay tuned, guys.
Fucking right, man. You guys gotta stay tuned.
Paranoid Activity scared the shit out of me in the beginning. I don't want to be a weirdo or labeled a weirdo, but I kind of believe in ghosts. I kind of had some experiences with it when I was younger, things that just couldn't be explained, so it kind of sticks with me.
Yeah.
I don't know that ghosts can hurt you. I don't know if I believe in that, but I do believe that they exist. But this movie scared me because it looked like a very bad ghost and wanted to hurt them. And she, at the end though, she kind of gets possessed. So is this...
That's what I was gonna say. Like, there is a very fine line between ghost hauntings and demon possession, because because
it seems like the demon haunts the house first and then takes possession. Of the weakest link.
Yeah. But in Paranoid Activity, they were fucking like the demon was targeted and latched onto her from the start.
Right, from the very beginning. But she left the house
wasn't really,
at the
like, the
end, and it was
weakest.
still with her, right?
Yeah.
Because she goes like on a killing spree or something.
Yeah, they bring her back in the later movies.
Right.
too. How many of them are there?
Quite a bit.
8, right?
I think so.
8 motherfucking movies.
I don't know that I've seen all them. The second one sucked, I think, if I remember correctly. And then I can't remember if it was the third or fourth that I thought was pretty good because they kind of rebooted it in a different direction.
Yeah,
It was
the
more
marked
with social
ones.
media. The one with the witches at the end was weird. That
The marked ones.
Is that you like that one?
I like that one a lot. Yeah, where like it's the Hispanic family going through the
What's it?
going to yeah, because like the witches killed the one dude's brother, and like the Spanish family and like the gangsters go to this house and like they start like shooting all these witches and shit.
Was there one?
That one's really fucking
So
good.
was that the third you said?
I don't remember which one that was. I think that's like 4.
Wasn't there one where at the very end they end up it's some nice little house and there's a witch thing going on?
Yeah, they do that in a couple actually. Yeah.
Okay, so they must all point to witchcraft then.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
So is it a
The
ghost?
whole Paranoid Activity movie or world like revolves around like pretty much like that house that Mika and the girl is living in.
Right. But it's a
Paranormal
newer
Activity.
house. Yeah.
Yeah, it is like a newer house, but like that kind of like becomes the vessel for everything, because in the end of like most of the movies they always end up back at that house, that original house. And it's a cool tie into all that,
Right.
And just seeing who was the director in this movie or something. something 3 letters, right? Like
Yeah, but it was like a newcomer, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was his first movie.
Oren Peli.
Oren Peli. Yeah, it was his first movie, he just like got up one day pretty much and was like, dude, I want to make a movie, and like fucking, you know, I hired a couple actors, wrote out the story, and fucking did it at his house, which the house is crazy cool too. Dude had to have been a millionaire. He probably fronted all this movie or all this money.
Right. I bet you. Yeah, it was weird to me too. Or I'm sorry, are you done with this one? I don't have any more for paranormal.
Yeah, man.
Because I wanted to talk about Candyman. Because I never really thought of that as a ghost story until I looked it up on this list, which I guess it is. I always thought of him more as a demon too.
I think of him like a...
Because he was like
a revenge fairy tale type thing. Because it was like the story that people...
Or an urban legend.
An urban legend type shit, yeah. You know, when I think of Candyman, I think of stuff like the Mothman or the Jersey Devil or Bigfoot, you know, stuff... Or you know, urban legends, you know.
Right.
Something, you know, shit like that. Like, I never really thought of ghost stories.
Well, like Bloody Mary's an urban legend type thing.
And I guess Bloody Mary could be considered a ghost story.
Yeah.
But
locally, we have the Green Man and Green Man's Tunnel. That's a urban legend around here in our area.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I always think of this as too. And I guess technically, if they're dead, it's a ghost story, you know. As long as they're not possessing people, he's a killer ghost.
Well, you said that you think that ghosts can't hurt people.
I think that, in my own opinion, not so much in a movie opinion, you know. But I still like the movies. I think that's why Paranormal Activity scared me. That was more of a demon to me, you know. And Tony Todd doesn't, as Candyman, doesn't come across as a ghost to me either, because he seems to be fucking tangible. You can reach out and poke him, right? So.
Yeah, dude. My bad. Tony Todd in this movie is awesome, man, and you only get to see him for like a really small amount. Like the whole movie is just based on, you know, the legend of Candyman. You really don't see the real Candyman until like what, an hour into the movie?
Right, way back.
Way back. You know, you're already introduced to like 2 other fucking fake Candymen, and then you're already introduced to where the Candyman's hideout is, pretty much. You know, it's just it's crazy to think about, like. The real villain in the movie doesn't even, you know, play a part until later down the road.
Right, way down the road.
Virginia Madsen was an awesome actress.
She's done a lot of stuff too.
Oh yeah, she's
not even horror, but a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Just her role in this movie, playing a newspaper detective, right? Or sort of. She's like an investigative reporter or something like that. She's like, she does a great job, like. Really getting into the story and into the legend of the movie.
She does. She did. I like
a fantastic movie.
Right. I've always liked Virginia Madsen. Speaking of movies, though, that you weren't sure if it was a ghost story or not, The Conjuring's on the list that I looked up. Now, we talked about this a little bit. Because Bathsheba was a witch who died, so technically she's a ghost haunting this house. But she also possesses the mother, and she also had a pact with the devil. So what we were talking about is, was she a demon or is she a ghost? If you make a pact with the devil, does that automatically...
I feel like that automatically...
If the devil gets your soul, that makes you a demon, correct?
I automatically think of that, especially when you come back specifically to torture people. Like, you're not doing ghostly shit, you're doing demon stuff,
right? Because it has a ghostly feel, like when what's her name, Vera Farmiga's character, Lorraine Warren, when she's outside hanging the sheet and that sheet blows around the figure and then floats up, that's fucking ghost.
Oh my god.
And cool as shit. You know,
the scenes where like she's like the daughter's being dragged by her hair and stuff like that, you know, ghost. Doors closing, it's all very ghostly,
right? And then you see her in the window, but then she jumps on top of fucking Lily Taylor and possesses her by throwing up black goo in her mouth. And so at that point, it seems more like she's a demon. Because do ghosts possess? I don't think ghosts possess.
I don't think ghosts possess either, but if she's a witch, then
maybe she
that's a
has
completely
a different power. She's a
thing.
ghost witch.
Yeah, because witches like start off as real people,
but they're all like married to the devil.
They're all married to the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what Bathsheba was. She sacrificed her kid
as the ultimate fuck you to God.
Yeah, just so that she can get her way. It's that movie. Like I said, there's a fine line between ghosts and demons, and The Conjuring. I don't know if I put that in ghosts.
I don't know if I would either,
because that's a vengeful demon.
It's a vengeful entity.
Actually, not even vengeful, because there's no reason for the demon to have vengeance. He's just choosing them because they're there.
Right.
Like the random acts of violence, but with shit that you can't control.
Speaking of that, I just said it. The Entity, is that a ghost? That's a ghost, right? But the Barbara Hershey's character gets sexually assaulted by it.
I've never seen The Entity.
Huh.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember it being pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, well, Barbara Hershey, she was a pretty big actress back then. The Entity is from 1982, too. Mm-hmm. It's right in that sweet spot where, there were some cool-ass horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I wouldn't mind. I can watch it on Stars. I might have to check this out again. Because this was pretty scary, too, I remember the first time I saw it. I'd have been 12 if I saw it when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I might have put this on the list. I think it was... Okay. But to me, thinking back, what I recall, I felt like it was a demon, too. It doesn't possess her, though. It takes her,
Shit.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy. And if I remember it right, she does know what's going on. It happens more than once. And they end up going to this doctor, and he puts her in this, like, sleep study. And she's in a glass room, and you actually see her getting taken by the fucking no one there ghost. Like, yeah, I mean, it's not explicit. You don't get to see all that.
Yeah,
not that you want to, but
no,
But yeah, and it was pretty fucking scary if I remember correctly. It's been 1982,
man. Yeah. 1982 was like the year for like a lot of really good horror and fucking ghost movies. I might have started this movie, but I get into them ruts where I'll put on a movie and then I'll start either looking at my phone or I'll fall asleep or I'll do something else, man. I
usually pick a movie I know that's a meh, and I'll put it on so I can be on my phone and I'll look up every once in a while.
Yeah.
But Ron Silver's in The Entity too, and he was pretty big in like the 80s and whatnot. Him and Barbara Hershey. She's done horror before too, and she's the mom in Insidious. She plays what's the main dude's name?
Patrick Wilson.
Yeah, she plays his mom.
Nice.
In that, yeah. So
okay.
she's got some horror background for sure.
The name's not really ringing a bell for anything that I've not for her name's not jumping out for anything that I recognize, but or not anything I've seen. But yeah, no, I'm gonna have to watch this movie because I always enjoy seeing new ghost story movies, and anything in the 80s you can't go wrong with. Like really, like.
No, they had like a blueprint for horror in the 80s. They kind of hit this, and this. You got a horror movie.
That's it. Yeah.
Which
keep it under this budget.
Which subgenre do you want? Slasher, ghost. Here's the pattern. Here's what you got to follow, and you'll get there.
That's right, man. Shit. What movie were we just talking about? Were we talking about The Conjuring or?
We were talking about Candyman.
Oh yeah. So let's get back into like the witches and like the demons and and the stuff like that. The Woman in Black with Daniel Radcliffe. That was kind of like a demon, wasn't? That would definitely be considered witch, right? Because this the Woman in Black, she shows up as solid figure. She shows up as and she makes things. It's kind of like she uses
like
magic.
A ghost witch again, I think.
Yeah, I guess it might be like a ghost witch.
Because weren't there stories in the village about the Woman in Black? And, so usually that revolves around a witch. Mm-hmm. People will sing little songs or make little limericks about them.
Yeah.
But she would have been like 200 years old. Mm-hmm. So she
might have been. Yeah.
Which, who knows? Them witches.
Mm-hmm. They live forever, man. That movie's awesome, though. By the way, Daniel Radcliffe.
The first one, for sure.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch it. I've never seen the second one, but Daniel Radcliffe's jump into horror. Right before he did what he did, Horns, or did he do Horns? Yeah, he did Horns.
Which was kind of horror comedy, right?
A little bit, horror comedy, yeah. And this was like his first like real jump into horror, and it's really fucking dramatic, and it's really like edge of your seat, gripping. It's such a good movie. It's so scary too, dude. With some of these jump scenes, especially whenever he's like walking into the room, like towards the end, and like you see the fucking chair like rocking back and forth. It's such a simple, overly used trope in horror movies, especially movies like this, but it always works. Every time, man. Every time I see it, I'm just like, oh, shit's about to get real. Every time.
I know I'm forgetting a bunch, dude. There's so many ghost stories that you don't realize are ghost stories. Sleepy Hollow. Sleepy Hollow's an awesome one. Johnny Depp. I mean, that's one I usually watch every October,
Yeah, Christina Ricci. You can't go wrong. That cast alone. You got Christopher Walken towards the end there. It's fucking awesome. Isn't Dumbledore. I can't remember the dude's name, but he's in it. Yeah, he plays like one of the main council members. The movie's awesome, and some of the effects in that one came out in what, 1992, 93? No, was it 99? 1999. Like, just seeing the effects then, it's always cool. And Johnny Depp was really coming into his own in this one, dude. Oh,
he pulled it off well too.
Yeah,
it's one of the best versions of the movie, I think, because there's a couple other versions to this, older ones. So I just saw a clip of Doctor Sleep, which is the sequel to The Shining, and then I'm thinking, so The Shining is a ghost story, but it also has that shining part to it, which is kind of like a supernatural.
Yeah, you can't call
it's
Dr.
not a
Sleep.
Solid. No,
Doctor Sleep is not a ghost story.
No, not at all, because he got those fucking awesome vampire creatures in it. Man, was that good. And we both read the book, right?
Yeah,
that was fucking a good book too.
I like the book better than I did the movie.
I agree, but I thought the movie was still good.
Oh, the movie was awesome. You can't go wrong with Ewan McGregor, man.
Right,
that dude's always badass.
And the chick that played Rose the Hat, she was good.
Yeah, what's her name? Rebecca Ferguson.
I think so.
Yeah, she was great, man.
Because she was, she's pretty but lethal, which is really scary, Oh
yeah,
that's awesome. We touched on House on Haunted Hill when we were talking earlier too. It's not bad. It's not one of the better ones for sure, but it's kind of like it's what is it? Scary Movie 3 with the that's my germs.
No, it's 2.
It's 2.
Yeah,
that one I think was based a lot on the House on Haunted Hill.
House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah,
okay,
for sure.
Dude, we always talk about Scary Movie and Scary Movie 2. They're so fucking great, man.
The fucking Wayans brothers killed it with those movies.
I love all their movies. But the scene where they're like recreating that basketball, I was commercial
that in my head the other day.
That's one of the most iconic scenes ever, man.
Absolutely.
When Shorty hits himself in the nads, man, and he drops, dude. That's just like it's the highlight of that shit.
So when I was singing that the other, honest to God, Saturday, I was humming that to myself or whatever, and I thought, this scene is going to be dated. Like, kids who watch this or people aren't going to know what the fuck this scene's about. I remember the commercial. Chip, 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 chip. The sneakers on the gym floor and shit. So I wonder if that will lose any. I assume it'll lose a little bit.
See, I don't know, man. With the way social media is, and
you can look shit up.
Always keeping like that 80s, 90s stuff, retro stuff alive. I feel like it will probably stay revolving around, because I've seen that commercial on Facebook and stuff like that. Circulate the internet.
Right.
I feel like it'll always keep a good following. And that trailer, that commercial is always amazing. Every time.
The last movie I was thinking about, unless you have some more that you want to talk about, because we actually said neither of us have seen this, is The Ward. And that was John Carpenter's The Ward with, speaking of Johnny Depp, what's her name? Amber Heard. His ex-wife, or soon-to-be ex-wife, or whatever that's going on with that shit.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
A lot of crazy, a lot of craziness over there, man.
A little bit.
I didn't know that this was John Carpenter.
I didn't either, but it's funny how he puts his name on everything, which is brilliant.
He's the marketing genius, man. He knows how to, put his name out there.
Fucking right.
I mean, that was the only reason why he did Halloween.
Placement.
Perfect. Yeah. It's always John Carpenter presents Halloween. John Carpenter's The Thing.
I'm gonna start labeling shit in my house. Dr. Jayhem's coffee maker. Dr. Jayhem's refrigerator. That's going to be my name. When you walk through this house, you're going to know my name.
You're going to know my fucking name, dude. Take the John Carpenter approach. Dude, this movie does look really good, though.
It does look good. I want to say I might have saw this, but I won't know until I, like I said, get like 5-10 minutes in. I'll be like, oh, shit, I saw this.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'll watch it again because obviously I don't remember it.
Yeah.
And I'm up for a good ghost story. Danielle Panabaker's in this, too.
I like her. Danielle Panabaker always shows up in some good horror movies.
Right. We saw her recently in Friday the 13th.
Oh, she plays a nurse in a movie. It's got to be like a zombie movie or something.
I know she's from other shit. I know there's a bigger one.
Yeah. I'm just not remembering. I know Friday the 13th, but I feel like she's been in a few other horror movies.
Right. I think so too. Fight of the Living Dead?
That don't sound right.
No, that's a TV series too. It seems silly. Piranha 3D, we did know that.
Yeah.
I don't know what else she's been in.
The Crazies, that's what it was.
Oh, that's
she
it.
was in the
Crazies. I knew
yeah.
there was another bigger one that I liked that she was in.
Yeah,
she
and
wasn't
that's Wes
in a
Craven right there,
though, right? No, she wasn't in one of those, right?
I don't think so.
No, the Crazies I like. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a great movie. That's another one of the movies where it's like better than the original.
Right.
And I never,
That's like a biohazard movie.
Oh my god, dude! Timothy Olyphant in that movie is fucking. He's iconic.
Right.
Like
Romero did the original.
Oh, Romero did. You're right. My bad. Still, like that's one of them few times, you know.
Oh yeah,
the movie
no, I
is
agree.
Better than. How did I mix up Romero? I think it's all the Wes Craven talk, man. It's fucking getting my.
It happens. We got weed brain. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to checking out The Ward.
All right, guys. So that wraps up another day here at Horror High. Got a couple of good homework assignments for you. You know, the first one will be.
I'm not going to tell you.
We just talked about this.
I know them both. I'm not going to tell you.
You remember them both?
I do.
All right. So the first one is going to be The Ward with Amber Heard. And I think that was the only famous person in there, right?
Panabaker. Danielle Panabaker.
Danielle Panabaker, yeah. And then the second one's going to be 13 Ghosts. It's been a minute since I've seen that one, so I'm excited to check that out. Hopefully
Matthew
we can find
Lillard,
it on.
Shannon Elizabeth, Tony Shalhoub.
Can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong.
Absolutely not. I can't wait. I don't know yet if I've seen The Ward. I may have.
Yeah.
But 13 Ghosts I saw and really liked, and it's been a while. So yeah, I look forward to seeing that too.
I'm excited.
And I think that brings us to it.
Yeah,
right?
man, that does it.
Yeah. So wrapping it up for today. As always, I'm Dr. Jayhem.
And I'm Mr. High. And as always, keep it creepy.
Keep it creepy.